2, 1. It's time to talk about Switch 2.
Oh boy. It's time.
Yep. So Switch 2 came out back on June 5th of 2025, and we all
By
got
the,
one.
by the time this goes up, it'll be out for about 3 weeks.
Yep. We've had the system for about what
2
today's
weeks.
the 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. Today's the 20th. It
Day
came out on the 5th.
15.
Yeah, so 15 days. So we all managed to get one on launch, and we're going to talk about our experiences with the system, starting from our launch, how we got the system, how that went, what we got with it, and then our initial impressions with setting it up, using the software, playing games, stuff like that. And then we're probably going to be talking quite a lot about Mario Kart World, because that is the major game that came out with the system. And then we'll talk about our hopes for the future of the system, basically, just stuff that we want to see. So
Our hopes and dreams.
we already talked about our pre-order experiences, which were some degree of easy to, for somebody, effortless. So we're not going to talk about that. Let's just jump right into when it came out on June 5th. How did it go for you guys? Jack, how did it go, and what'd you get?
I worked the day it came out, so I did not have time to go in before work. I went after work at like 7:30. I went to the GameStop that is across the street from where my store is. Not literally across the street, but it's like basically next door.
A hop,
In the
skip, and a
mall.
jump away.
Yeah. And because it was in a mall, they did not have a midnight release, so I didn't go to a midnight release. I just picked it up after work, and that was it.
Nice.
I did not get any. Only thing I got with it was Mario Kart. I didn't get any at the time. I didn't get any extra accessories or anything because I'm like, I don't need this shit. Especially since like I wanted to weigh my options and try and find something from potentially somewhere else for a better deal than what GameStop might have. So, yeah.
Yeah. For me, I actually got to go to a midnight release. My GameStop was doing one, and it was the first time I'd actually went to that GameStop for anything on launch in probably a decade or so. But I used to go to the same GameStop way back to get that's the same GameStop I got Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness on launch day for. So it was pretty nostalgic being able to go in at midnight. We got in a line. It was a little weird because I'd already paid off my pre-order, but they were doing writing down numbers and putting stickers on receipts for the people that were paying but they didn't pay it off fully, or they were only paying for it today, they hadn't already paid it off in advance. So I didn't have that, so it was weird, but it all worked out in the end. But I got in line. I was basically just there to pick up my paid off pre-order. It didn't take too long. I was able to hang out there before the launch for a little bit. I picked up an extra game or two, and when I actually got the system, I got just the carrying case. I had pre-ordered that, and then I was supposed to get a micro SD express card, but when I pre-ordered it, the cashier didn't realize they never got any in, so I had to go back a few days later to actually get the SD card when those came in, which apparently ended up coming in the very next day because they had dated a piece of paper with my SD card taped to it for the 6th. So it was literally the day after. But I ended up getting just the carrying case. I ended up getting an Amfilm glass screen protector in the mail a couple days later to get an actual good screen protector, because the one that comes with this official carrying case sucks. The case is good. The screen protector for it with it sucks. But that's all I did. I didn't get anything as far as games go. My system came bundled with Mario Kart World, but it was pretty easy, and it was pretty fun since I got to go at midnight.
I also got that same screen protector.
The Amfilm one?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad it came with 2 because there was a tiny speck of dust that got stuck to the underside of the first one that I tried, and I'm like, I'm not dealing with that. Nope. So I tried the second one and it worked. But And then I also got a case. It's just like a generic black case. There's literally like no markings on it or anything, but like it's good.
Oh,
The only problem is that in the like top pocket, which is meant for like Joy-Cons and like charger and shit, the charging brick is too wide to close it shut. So I have to carry that separately, which is unfortunate. But
yeah.
if I'm leaving the house, I usually have a bag with me anyway. So
Didn't you get a second game though, Cloud?
Oh, yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I didn't buy anything physically at the store. I was talking about the stuff I got at the store. I didn't or at least ordered online. I didn't talk about anything I got digitally off the eShop. I did buy one extra game off the eShop. I downloaded Fast Fusion, which, for those who don't know what that is the follow-up to Fast RMX, which was a launch title for the Switch. The same people also did Fast Racing Neo, which was on Wii U, which was basically the predecessor for Fast RMX is basically like a director's cut release of that. So they've been supporting Nintendo hardware for quite a bit. They usually release the stuff around the launch, so they're a good showcase title to kind of show off what the system can do. So I grabbed that alongside with Mario Kart World. It was $15.
Nice. Good job.
So what'd you get, Landon? How'd yours go? You got a lot of stuff.
I walked in and I grabbed my copy of Beyond Oasis and Landstalker and then tried to leave, but they threw a Switch 2 at me anyway.
You were flagged down and they gave you an avalanche of stuff.
They were just like, you need to get the Switch 2 and all this other junk you pre-ordered. I was like, I just want the Landstalker, dude. Leave me alone. Give me that copy of Beyond Oasis too. Thanks. No, I got the Switch 2. I got whatever this is.
Ooh, Switch 2 Pro controller. I still got to get one of those.
I'm
not in a rush for it, but it's definitely nice from what I've heard.
I'll throw that away later. Don't worry about it. I got these.
Got Cyberpunk and Mario Kart World physical.
I did get a case.
Nice.
It's fine. I did get a case.
Another case, which is
a big fucking
a big case to carry everything that you could possibly want to carry with your Switch 2.
You know what's fun? The top part's detachable.
Oh,
God, that was a loud Velcro rip.
The top part's actually like a separate case.
Yeah, it's like it's the exact same case that I purchased separately.
That's hilarious.
It has Velcro on the bottom, so it attaches to this.
Okay.
What else did I get? Screen protector. This bowl of green beans and carrots. That came with my.
That came with your Switch? I mean, hey, I believe it because people that got it at Walmart, they were getting Coke and Pringles, so
Yeah, so I might as well have gotten that bowl of...
Yeah, they sent you a bowl of that.
Green beans and carrots. Let's see, screen protector. I got a tempered glass screen protector. I got this weird little butt plug thing. I don't know what you do with it. I haven't used it yet.
Oh, got the camera.
And I decided on a whim, I was like, you know what? Cloud couldn't get one, so I will. I'll get a micro SD card. Just pointed at them, and I was like, give me that micro SD card. They're like, okay, here you go. So yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah.
Cases, screen protector. Yeah, that's everything.
All right, and then obviously we all had to set our Switch 2 up for the first time. I'm assuming we all did a transfer from our Switch 1 and brought everything over and made the Switch 2 our new primary system, I'm guessing. How did that process go?
Pretty easy. Pretty intuitive.
Yeah.
Like, anything is going to be easier than, like, when I transferred my Wii data to my Wii U, because that's a whole fucking story, but it basically required me to set up like another TV that was like further away or like closer to my Wi-Fi so that it
That's
could
so
actually
stupid.
connect. It was
I
dumb.
For that story, I had one of my systems set up upstairs, and this was like when I was
from Wii
still
from Wii to Wii U.
yeah, from Wii to Wii U. So I had to have one system set up upstairs, and then I think I had to have the other system set up like downstairs. So I had to like keep walking up and downstairs to like watch that progress. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
You know, I
No,
don't
the
know.
Switch 2 transfer, it's easy. You just set them next to each other, you click a few buttons, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know
The
about.
longest part of it was just copying all of my screen shares, or not screen shares, but screenshots and like replays.
Yeah, I had a pretty easy time. It was it took a really long time to download all of my games again. Like I had it setting overnight on the dock to like just download all of my digital stuff. So like my all of my virtual game cards, since those all transferred over, like I had to re-download all those. But other than that, the process was like super easy. I again, as Landon and I had mentioned, I did not get the chance to use an SD card right away, so everything went right to the system memory. And thank God my Switch had just enough for everything I wanted to actually download right away, because my Switch 2 had it was like, so it has like 256 gigabytes of internal storage, but like some of that's taken up by the operating system. So you really only have like 230 something to work with, and I was left with like 5 gigabytes after everything. So, and I didn't even download everything. Like I had a few things that I just have that I could re-download, but I don't have downloaded. So if I did that, I wouldn't have even had space for everything. So thanks to
It took me days to download everything.
days
Yeah.
with a D.
It was like multiple days. Now, I think at one point I had my system turned off, so like there was that, or like outside of like Wi-Fi range because I take it to work.
Yeah.
But still, like it was like multiple days for it to like catch up on that. And then I like went through like every single one of my physical cartridges that I wanted to have like make sure there was updates for, and like stuck those in and did. And then I was like, well, might as well just delete some of this fucking shit that I'm not going to play, like Monster Hunter Generations X, whatever the fuck, that I got as a free download. I was like, I don't need this on here.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
All right.
Good thing Pixel's not in the chat.
Yeah. She said Monster Hunter. You said dropping it. Ooh, don't do that.
Oops.
So let's go ahead and talk about the hardware now. Our initial impressions with how that is. How do we feel about the? So we got new Joy-Cons. They're detachable through magnets. It's pretty interesting. They snap in. The system is much bigger. So we've got big chonky boy. Got a new kickstand that is it looks flimsy on the surface, but it's honestly just as good, if not maybe even a little better than the OLED's kickstand. It's pretty nice. Obviously, comes with basically all the same things that you would get with the Switch 1, just, adapted for Switch 2, so you have like your Joy-Con grip that you can put them in to make a standard controller. You've got a dock, which the dock is like also much bigger. And comes with a new adapter for powering it, since it needs more power. The dock's got a few little doodads. You've got these like new rails that attach to your Joy-Con, all that good stuff. But yeah, how we feel about the hardware? How does it feel? How does it work for you? Have you guys tried any of the cool new things that you can do with the Joy-Con, like the mouse mode?
No.
No?
I have not.
There's not really a game to like utilize it unless you buy Welcome Tour. I feel like right at the moment.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Well, I guess I could try it on Cyberpunk. I think that supports it, but I haven't played enough Cyberpunk. And like the one combat tutorial, it didn't like do mouse mode. It was like other things with the Joy-Cons.
Gotcha.
If I had those attached, so
Now
I was also like trying to sleep when I was doing that tutorial, so I don't know.
Now, when you do mouse mode, I do suggest using the straps because the straps have like a little like I don't know if you guys have really used the straps all that much, but they have like a little like thing that helps them glide a little bit better. They've got like a I don't know what they're called, but it's like these little like black spots on them that have it basically just helps them move around more easily. So I definitely suggest
like the
yeah.
the rubber thing on there.
Yeah, so if you want to use mouse mode, like I definitely suggest using that because the Joy-Con just kind of slide around nice and easy like a mouse should.
Well,
But
I think it's obvious how much I've used the strap.
yeah, because it's still in the fucking bag.
I'm
But
just gonna put that back where it lives.
how do we feel about the new Joy-Con and the tablet in general? Like the size, the feel, ergonomics?
As a big-handed person, bigger Joy-Cons is a good thing for me. They feel much more comfortable in my hands than the previous Joy-Cons, which were much smaller. They feel good. Like I know they said like stick drift is still like a possibility, but honestly the sticks feel way nicer
Oh
on
yeah.
the Switch 2 than they do on the Switch 1.
Like you could feel how like flimsy the sticks were on a Joy-Con like right out of the box. Like it was like, oh, I have to be careful with this or else this thing's gonna like fall apart on me over time. But like the sticks do like they're bigger and they feel better with the new ones. I also
Yeah.
like the subtle curvature so that like it conforms to your hand a little bit better. It's not just like a rigid rounded rectangle. It's got like more of a subtle curve to it. So it's like it feels better in the hand than like the old Joy-Con, and like you said, it being bigger means it's more comfortable for most people to hold. Nintendo kind of realized that the majority of the Switch player base is actually a full-grown adult, so maybe we don't need these tiny ass little Joy-Cons that most of their player base cannot comfortably hold. So yeah, no, these are a lot nicer.
That all said, I still want a grip like this where it's like a comfort grip that you put your Switch into
I'm sure someone will make one.
Oh,
because
they've already been making them.
I use and I want it like a cheap one, honestly, just because
Yeah.
but I use my Switch handheld 99.9% of the time
Oh,
right now.
Yeah.
Like I think I played it docked once since I picked it up.
I've also been playing it a lot handheld, honestly.
Yeah.
I've been flipping
With
back
the
and
exception
forth.
of with the exception of streams.
I like to switch back and forth on it.
I wish I had the luxury for that.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing about like the Switch 1 is like the Joy-Cons, like they're locked in, but you can kind of slide them out.
Yeah.
At least like for the OLED, I don't remember it being the thing for the other one, but like they were like that. I didn't even like press the button
Yeah, no,
and it
you
just
can
slid it right out.
you can do that. Yeah. I've done it with like both like I try to use the button, but like my OLED it was like
Yeah.
it was like getting to that point where it's like little wiggly.
With the Switch 1, the latches on the Joy-Cons are gonna like wear off at some point, whereas magnets don't really wear off. It's not how magnets work.
Yeah. The magnets actually are in the side L, side R buttons, the SLSR. So like they attach to the system through that. So that's actually really neat. And then I think the little like chip that's in the side of the Switch is to one, it's to recognize the connection a little bit better, but I think it's primarily for the charging. So that way they're like it can charge the Joy-Con while it's attached to the system. I think that's how it's charged through that. It's pretty cool.
And honestly, just like pulling them off and clipping them back on is really satisfying.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just recency bias, but I like the magnets a lot more than sliding them on, which was always like a little bit awkward.
It feels good to do both, but I think it feels a lot better over time to like continue to do the Joy-Con 2 because like For me, so like I have this so like we have this entertainment center, and like there's a very small square where like the Switch 2 is, and having to like pull the Joy-Con from the Switch 1 like up was a pain in the ass because it was like there wasn't much
Yeah.
room. So like I can literally just put them into the system while they're on the dock in that little spot, and like I don't have to worry, or I could take them out and it's easy. Like I only have to worry about if I'm taking the whole system out, which at that point I need to be careful anyway, so like it doesn't matter regardless. But the Joy-Con, it's so much more satisfying to take them in and out of the dock uh, when that's a thing. And the new grip, it feels the same pretty much as the other Joy-Con grip. It's just it's got like they removed some of the like the spots like on top so that way there the Joy-Con can go in through the sides instead of like coming in through the top. But yeah, it's just an overall more comfortable system. It's a little bit bulky, so like if you're playing it in handheld for a long time and it can be a little uh it can be a little exhausting on the hands, but not too much. Um Battery life. Talk about battery life. That's a part of the battery.
It's not great.
Yeah, it's
I was not expecting it to be though.
I wasn't expecting it to be either. It's fine for what it is, but it's very like 2017 Switch 1 battery life. So like
Yeah.
if you remember how bad the Switch 1 like it's not so like a lot of people did not get that original model because that was the first 2 years. They had replaced it pretty quickly. But that original Switch, when it first came out in 2017, the battery life was pretty bad. Like Zelda Breath of the Wild could only last like a little over 2 hours on that thing. And at most you could maybe get 7 hours. They said 2.5 to like 7 hours of gameplay, and that was about right. And that's about what you get with the Switch 2, depending. But the Switch 2 also has a lot more demanding games, but it still manages to get around the same amount of playtime. A little less on average, but not by too much.
I am excited to see what they can do with a revision at some point to fix that.
Yeah.
Because that's probably the biggest issue with the hardware.
Yeah. Like some people are going to talk about like the screen, and they're probably going to fix that at the same time when they do with the whatever the revision is. They'll probably have like, you know, a nicer screen, extra battery. They'll probably like come out a couple
Yeah.
of years from now, and it'll fix the little problems, because these are like for launch hardware, these are small issues. They're not something that's like super hard to do. To on the plus side though, the thanks to the new features the Switch 2 has with more modern technology. It has you can, you know, smart battery charging. So like if you want to make it so that it stops charging after 90%, around 90%, they say around. So it can be like anywhere from like 85 to like a little over 90. But it'll stop charging it before it gets too much. I will recommend though, if you do decide to have that on, calibrate your battery first, like play it until it drains out like almost completely, charge it all the way up to 100 so that like the Switch 2 can tell how much each percentage of battery is supposed to be, because otherwise you might have a situation where like you have 1% battery, but then that 1% is lasting like a half hour for some reason. So do that first, and then you can turn on the 90% charge, and you can have a longer lasting battery that way. uh, but yeah, I'm sure you guys had more experience with having to deal with the battery life than I did, since I've been switching off. uh, I'm
I wish I had the luxury to even have that.
Yeah. So Mario Kart World, you guys are getting probably like about 2 hours, I'm guessing, a little over maybe, if you like played from like 100 down.
2 hours of gameplay in one sitting. Who are you?
uh, yeah. Jack.
I think in general it's anywhere between, like, if it's Mario Kart, it's anywhere between like 2 and 3, maybe 3.5 hours. I was getting a lot more when I was just playing Majora's Mask, or sorry, not Majora's Mask, Minish Cap, on game GBA NSO, because obviously it's a much less demanding game, so it doesn't take nearly as much battery life. But I was getting probably like, I don't know, 5, maybe 6 hours on that. Of course, I didn't actually play it that long, because the only point when I ever played Minish Cap handheld was when I was grinding for figurines for the fucking final stream, which I just finished yesterday. So
Yeah. So the Switch 2, as we talked about in previous episode, capable of 1080p on the screen now and 4K output docked. It also can do up to 120 FPS on the tablet. It's supposed to be able to support it for docked, but honestly, like none of the modern consoles can actually really do 120 FPS on TV, just because of like the HDMI pass-throughs at the moment. So like when, in the future, maybe, but like we don't. It's still gonna be 60. But how are you guys liking the screen? How are you guys liking how the experience of playing on the new bigger screen with better refresh rates?
It's good. It looks really nice. Like even way better than the OLED. Like the shit.
I'll say the
Yeah,
color.
I
I'll
don't know.
say that the colors don't look as nice as the OLED, but like I'm fine. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, the OLED's screen is unbeatable and the Switch 2 screen sucks. It's like, no, it looks great for what it is. It's a nice big, almost 8-inch screen, and it has a lot of detail because of the higher resolution. It's really nice to look at. Like I don't really have any major complaints with it.
Your
Yes.
thoughts, Yosuke?
I have to pee.
Super.
No, I have been enjoying the quality of like the screen for sure. My fun little thing. While everyone else was had the pleasure of playing Mario Kart World together on launch day, I got to play 15 seconds of Balatro, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go Balatro.
Oh, okay. No one else clapped. That's fine.
I clapped.
I was
I
waiting for
didn't.
the audience to kick in, but
Damn, true.
that's fine.
Wait,
Let
hold
us
on.
know
Do we have
if you're
do we have the clap sound effect?
if you're watching or listening to this. Throw up a clap in the comments. Just give us some clap emojis. All right. Anything else to add though, Landon? On that note.
No, it like I said, it like the games I've gotten to play on it look really nice. I think some games are just too dark, so I need to have like more sliders for brightness in
Yeah.
games. Mostly I'm talking about Cyberpunk. I'm in
Yeah.
a very dark room at the moment, and whenever I try to play it, I go, "Oh, I can't see anything." I'm also in the middle of like a car ride, so I'm gonna just turn that off and put
And
that away.
I'm assuming you've tried to tinker with like HDR settings, turning it off, having it on, like just testing out different settings with that, and it just like it's still too dark.
Yeah, I've
I,
messed around a little bit with the like the in-game settings. They just need like every game needs to have a dedicated uh, actually my game is too dark. Let me make it visible button
yeah.
or slider
I
or
like
some
to
shit.
imagine though when you mentioned that you were in a car. I like to imagine that you were driving while trying to play.
God.
You have it
There
like
are
you're like holding it while also holding the steering wheel and just like trying to play the game.
but I have like motion controls turned on, so like I
Yeah,
keep like,
you're
oh no,
playing.
I missed.
You're
Oh, I
playing.
missed.
You're playing with fucking motion controls in
I'm
Mario
using
Kart,
tilt
but you're
control.
driving in real
Yeah.
life.
I
Well,
actually.
Cyberpunk also has gyroscopic controls for like aiming and stuff, so
Oh
I
yeah.
would keep missing
That's good.
gunshots and shit.
Uh, one last thing I want to talk about with the hardware that I can think of, and then if there's anything else that I didn't get to, you guys can chime in. But well, I want to talk about accessories and stuff after the Switch itself. Like I wanted to talk about like stuff like the controllers, like the
Right
Switch.
here.
Yes, but first, the Switch 2 itself, I wanted to ask about how you guys feel about the speakers, the new speakers, because I don't know if you guys have really had like used the sound on with
I've
with the
used
handheld
a
mode.
bit.
It is so much crisper than the Switch 1. Like it's really good.
My issue is I either have sleeping babies
So you have to use
around,
headphones.
I'm at work, so I have to use headphones, or I'm in the car with Kari and the kids, so I have to use headphones. So I
Yeah.
just have my cheap ass fucking Bluetooth headphones that I just use. I have used a little bit with the speaker, and I can say it is a pretty solid speaker in there. So the games that I have had in it have been pretty good.
Yeah, it's like sometimes if you're in like public settings and you're not in like an enclosed area where like you can get the sound better on the Switch 1, some like sounds just might not really it might be hard to make them out, but like the Switch 2 has a lot of, I don't know what they call it, but there's more that they say that there's like a 3D audio aspect to it. And they have like support for like headphones for doing that sort of thing as well. But like you can kind of really make out like different sound effects, different uh tones, and it's good. Have you really been able to use it at all, Jack?
Sorry, what was that?
I was asking you if you've been able to have an experience with the speakers for the Switch 2.
Oh, like yeah. I mean, it sounds good. Like I noticed like how like it's pretty crisp.
Yeah.
Like even just coming out of the speakers on the system, like it's nice.
Yeah. All right. So we'll talk about the Switch 2 Pro controller since Landon wants to talk about that. Do you want to talk about it still, or you change your mind?
Can we cut the recording really quick? I want to see if I have the right microphone set.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Just the audio portion. We can leave the video for a second. Hi, folks.
So
Hi, folks. We will be
we'll be right back.
Technical difficulties.
Stopping the Audacity.
Yeah, please.
All right.
Okay.
Stopping it in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I already stopped mine.
It's fine.
We should.
I will figure it out. Actually, it set the right thing. Okay, that makes me feel better.
So we're good.
We're fine.
Oh, we can actually we don't even have to start a new one. We can just continue going after a countdown. Oh, wait, no, but then it'll be desynced because we didn't all do it at the same time. We do have to start a new one. That's why I wanted to count it down.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
It's my fault because I didn't check, but I also had like everything unplugged before we did this because I hadn't had my system set up since we did the
Three, 2, 1. So, Landon, you wanted to talk a lot about the Switch 2 Pro controller. Do you still want to talk about it, or did you change your mind? In your hand.
It's pretty fucking nice.
Yeah.
You know, I've used it twice, so there's that.
Damn. True. having to play it in a handheld a lot, I'm guessing you haven't had a whole lot of chances to experience this Pro Controller.
Yeah, I haven't. I've used it a little bit because there's been a couple times where I've been able to
Tabletop.
set it up in tabletop and like play. And the only time I get to play it in tabletop right now is when I'm at my desk next to my monitor, which is what my Switch dock is set up to go into. So
Yeah.
there's that.
Gotcha.
And like I said, I've only been able to play in dock mode since getting the system once. So that shows you how many times I've really had the chance for tabletop. But the couple times I have used this guy, it in a lot of ways it's very similar to the like original Switch's Pro controllers. This is my Tears of the Kingdom one, but I like the it doesn't have the same like matte feeling that the handles on these guys had. It's
Just all glossy.
yeah,
No,
it's
it's
all
like
got the gloss.
I was gonna say it doesn't look glossy. It's like a rubberized texture, right? Like
It's
flat
all the
rubber
same.
plastic.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
a rubber plastic.
yeah.
So it's similar to like the middle section
Yeah,
of
instead of the Switch One, where you have the different grips that are not the same texture as the base of the controller,
yeah.
the Switch Two is more consistent throughout.
And I don't hate the grips. They just feel on the Switch like the Switch Pro controllers, but over time they feel like I'm just holding my own sweat.
Yeah, the grips on the Switch One Pro controllers, they feel like they handle fine, but they don't look good over time. They don't
Yeah,
feel
or like
super
even
good.
like in one long play session.
Yeah,
Especially since like this one
comfortable.
has a white. Yeah, it's very comfortable, and that's like it's literally the same size and everything. Like they are.
I noticed the Switch 2 Pro controllers handles are ever so slightly different, like when it comes to like their angularness, your hands are molded slightly more ergonomically than the Switch 1 Pro controller. It's not a huge difference, but like I'm sure that if you had experience with it, like you would feel that slight difference. How do you feel though about like the buttons and everything? Like, how's everybody and the sticks? I've heard really good things about the sticks. I know a lot of people complained, oh, they're not Hall effect, but like I've heard that they're really nice. Like they're just
The sticks feel nice to use, and the D-pad's solid. I know one of my first Switch Pro controllers, the D-pad like went out like almost instantly. So, it's nice to have like this one feels really nice to use. I have not gotten a chance to use the back buttons yet.
yeah.
Maybe one day.
I definitely want to get one because like I noticed that the sticks are like a lot quieter. They don't like crash up against the ring that they're surrounded by. The buttons I've heard have like a nice feel to them as well. So it's you're testing out both of the sticks to feel the difference real quick.
Well, yeah, like when you push the stick up, it doesn't make the same clank sound.
Yeah.
That the Pro ones do, but the Pro 2 definitely does. That's for sure.
So
Or sorry, the
other way
Pro
around.
2 does not make the sound. The Pro 1 does.
Yeah, because it's like they have like this weird design. I can't remember what they described it as, but like just the design of like the ring that they made it so that it's like not just clashing up against it. But yeah, I got to get one eventually. But tell us more about some more of these accessories because I don't have like any of these. I'm interested in finding out.
The camera has sat in this drawer over here since I pulled it out of the package. So that's pretty cool.
It does have 1080p. It is a from what I've heard, the quality of the camera is nice. It's just like I would never need to use one. So
Well, I think once we get the new content for Mario Party, like Super Mario Party Jamboree,
yeah.
we'll actually like we'll actually like try the game chat shit. I have not been able to play online. The couple times that we have our sphere of influence have had online play. So I have not had the chance to play with this thing. But it's nice. Like design wise, it's very sleek and stylish. So and it fits like the rest of the Switch 2 like feel.
Aesthetic
So
feel.
yeah, the aesthetic is pretty nice. So you definitely don't need it. That's for fucking sure. But
All right.
I got it.
Jack, did you have anything to add when it comes to like hardware stuff while Landon's digging around for more stuff?
I don't have more things. Those are the 3 accessories. Or 2. Because all I have else is cases.
True.
We can talk about the cases, but they're not the official Nintendo brand ones, so no one cares.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say about it. I'm going to be honest, like having the Switch 2 set up exactly where my Switch 1 used to be, it really doesn't feel that much different, honestly. It is an upgraded Switch 1. Like it runs better, it has a bigger screen, the games look nicer, it's more powerful. But at the end of the day, the UI and everything else is all the fucking same.
Well, for the most part, it's, ever so slightly different, but we'll get into that actually now. Actually, before we get into that, I think we're going to jump into early, we'll do an early, tidy housekeeping segment, and we'll talk about games and software from there. But first, we got to talk about what we've been up to with our Twitch and our everything else on twitch.yeah/GamingStooges or twitch.com/GamingStooges. We are about to pursue the domain gamingstooges.twitch.yeah.
I love how earnestly you said twitch.com/GamingStooges. Like it's so ingrained into our lexicon.
Even though it's twitch.tv/GamingStooges. We are still doing Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster. That's been a lot of fun to play through. I am just about near the end of the game. There's 3 overworlds in that game. There's the main world, there's the second world, and then there's a fused world where they're put together. And the put together part is like the last 20% of the game. And that's where I am now. So we're getting pretty close. And my plan is to do Final Fantasy VI right after, and then we're going to do a poll, and you guys who are Patreon subscribers, we'll talk about Patreon in a second, will help us decide what I'm going to play after that. Jack, what have you finished Minish Cap recently? How are you feeling about that?
I finished Minish Cap yesterday. Although when this goes up on
it'll be a week.
It'll be a week. So that just finished. We are, I think by the time this goes up, we will have finished Dual Destinies as well.
Yeah, let's go.
We are one stream away from finishing that. We have one segment of the game, and it'll probably be a little beefy, but thank you. Yeah, we are getting very close to the end of that. And by the time this podcast goes live, I will have already started my next stream title, Super Mario Galaxy 2. So you enjoyed that so far, I guess.
Yeah. Landon, how's Dragon Quest Heroes, the World Trees Woe and the Blight Below?
Thank you for asking, Cloud. So I always appreciate it when you throw it to me in the podcast, and I will say, nothing beats Tillamook Creamery's mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Nice.
That's for sure.
I like to think that people watching us that don't know any better think that we are actually sponsored by Tillamook.
I hope so.
I wish we were.
Because then you would be able to get that stuff for free.
Yeah. But I pay for it like every other chump.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. You asked about something that wasn't as important as Tillamook Creamery's ice cream.
Yeah, so I was asking about your experience with playing Dragon Quest Heroes, The World Trees Woe, and The Blight Below on GamingStooges.twitch.yeah.
You know what? It's fine.
Good.
Yeah, we're getting pretty close to the end. Let's see. I think we have 12 story chapters left, or like not chapters, missions. Maybe I'd have to go double check.
And that's
about
But
to say,
about
I don't know
out of how many that you've done so far, comparatively,
um, there's like
ballpark, like 50,
3 or
60 something?
4 per chapter, and there's like 14 chapters.
Okay.
There's quite a few story missions, and then like there's a bunch of side content that I've been doing as well, just to keep the levels high enough to be able to do the missions.
So we're talking about 75% of the way there, just about, maybe a little
Yeah.
less. Okay.
Like
Getting
the
pretty
main bad guy's done the main bad guy thing at this point, and is waking up the big bad, the super big bad. So there's that.
Very
Yeah, so it'll be anywhere between 3 to 200 streams before I'm done with it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark.
Now, I mentioned I'm going to be putting up a poll on patreon.com/GamingStooges. If you are subscribed to at least the Silver Stooge tier, so if you're a paid member at $3 or more, you can help us decide what we're going to be streaming next. We always put polls up. And also, we recently changed how our tiers work. So if you're subscribed to the Silver Stooge tier at $3 a month, you also have exclusive content. We moved that to the Silver Stooge tier. So that way there we can just expand, have more people be able to check that cool stuff out. This past month, we put up our Gen 5 Pokemon tier list. It was pretty massive. We went through all 156 Unova Pokemon. We did have to kind of shotgun through quite a bit of the later ones because we were spending a lot of time talking about a bunch of them, but it was a lot of fun. So I definitely think that anybody that's subscribed should check that out if they got time. And next month we're going to be doing a special discussion with me and Landon that we recorded on Dragon Quest XI. So we did a big long discussion on Dragon Quest XI because I ended up wanting to talk about almost everything. And
I wanted to
that's my
ask
fault.
about one very specific part of the game, like one
And then I
pointed
wanted to talk
question,
about the whole game.
and he was just like, "Actually, we're doing like a review of
Yeah.
the whole thing."
Yeah.
I was like,
Sure. Okay, why not? So yeah. Yeah. That's Patreon. We have Discord, as we always talk about. You can check out the link to that in the description of any of these podcast episodes, whether you're on any of the places that RSS exports this to, or YouTube, or whatever. We got that. And with that said, we have a $6 tier, but nobody subscribed to it. The Gold Stooge tier gives a special added shout out. So if we had anybody, we would be shouting out you directly. But regardless, we thank everybody that is subscribed to Patreon, helping us basically direct the channel's future content. So yeah, let's jump back in. And it's time, now that we've talked about the hardware, we're going to talk about software. Let's talk about games, except for Mario Kart World. That's going to get its own segment because Mario Kart World, we're going to have a lot of stuff to talk about with that. So the games, when it comes to Switch 2, I want to cover three major things. And that is Switch 2 new games. That could be, it could also be Switch 2 editions. And also there's some games that have free upgrades that are not full Switch 2 editions, just free upgrades. And then we want to talk about backwards compatibility with Switch 1 games, like because oddly enough, a lot of Switch 1 games, if they were made a certain way, they will actually play better on Switch 2. So
I found it.
you found it.
I didn't have the visual ready, but I found
The Pokemon Scarlet
free
plus
upgrade.
Area Zero.
Found the free upgrade one.
And of course, we can also talk about like the new NSO service. We've got the GameCube Nintendo Switch Online as well that was added. That is a Switch 2 exclusive, the GameCube anyway.
Has anyone had time for that?
I have not played that yet.
Jack,
Cool.
have you had time for GameCube games?
No, I've not touched any of them yet.
Damn, the GameCube boy hasn't touched the GameCube NSO yet.
Is he really the GameCube boy?
They only have
I think of him as GameCube boy. I don't know why.
I don't know.
I mean, I think to that point, yes, they only have three games
so far.
Yeah.
And the Zelda game that's on there is like I played that last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Played through it recently for our channel. There's also you've played through it numerous times already in different ways. So like,
I mean, I have no issue with playing the Wind Waker, but I'm also in the middle of playing Tears of the Kingdom,
yeah.
and so like that has taken like my focus has been I've been trying to focus on that to push through to the end. So unfortunately, the Wind Waker gets to be like take to a backseat for now.
Okay. Uh,
I do want to play like a little bit of Soul Calibur and F-Zero GX, but those are not the like stop everything I'm playing game that they could add to the GameCube service now.
I want
Like
to
Fire
actually,
Emblem.
jump right in. Jack, did you want to let Landon just jump right into talking about Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition since he already brought that up, or did you have something you wanted to talk about specifically?
The game wise, the only thing I've played so far is Mario Kart, so Landon can go right ahead.
Oh, you haven't
I-
like tried to play like any of your other games to just try stuff out or play just a little bit?
I mean, I guess I've played I guess I've been playing Apollo Justice on
Yeah.
the Apollo Justice trilogy on the Switch too, and it does load a lot quicker. So that's something.
Yeah, a lot of games do load faster at the very minimum, just because of the hardware supporting it. So, I mean, if that's all you got, I don't mind Landon just jumping in and talking about Tears of the Kingdom Switch 2 edition. So, we have, thanks to a certain someone in our group, uh, we got the $10 upgrades for free for Zelda, both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So I assume that you were started playing the Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 2 with the upgrade added.
Yes, I started playing with the upgrade, and it told me Zelda Notes is the thing, and I said, "Neat. Please never mention that again, ever."
But that said, how's it feel to play now?
Other than the fact that Zelda Notes is in the menu option, and it like stares at me and says, "Come on," and I say, "No,
Please, Ubu.
please,
Please,
Please.
Mr. Edgeworth.
please download the app so you can make use of me." And I go, "No." That's it. End of discussion. No. If you were Miiverse and you were Miiverse stamps, I'd think about it. No. Bad. I just slap it on the wrist. Tears of the Kingdom, Switch 2 edition. You know what? For my visual, I'm gonna hold up this copy of Breath of the Wild Switch 2 edition. I am not playing this, but this is my visual just so I have something in my hand that I can do like this with.
he likes
Like
he likes shoving things into the camera.
Yeah, I like shoving things into the camera. And so there's that.
You should have used your Switch 2 camera for this episode. I mean like you should have hooked that up instead of your actual
He
camera.
knows. He knows.
It could, but
That would have been clever.
This one's built in. This one's built in right there.
True.
That one's built in.
True. I am using my built-in one. I'm not like using my USB one, so
there's that. What were we talking? Oh, we were talking about Tears of the Kingdom.
Switch 2 edition, how's it feel to play?
It is noticeably like a lot of the things are a lot smoother. Load times are definitely faster. Probably the biggest area I notice like an increase is when you're ascending through things, because sometimes when you're playing that on a Switch, that can take a while. Sometimes it it runs quite a bit faster now in the Switch 2 versions.
Nice.
But like anytime there's a cutscene that I'm about to skip real quick because it's the same fucking shrine cutscene that I've seen 149 times prior. So I don't need to see it the 150th time or the next 2 times when I get to the last 2 shrines. It's like this like particle effects and everything look really nice on it. It's very clean, crisp. And it unfortunately does not fix any of the glaring flaws with Tears of the Kingdom, and therefore, oh well.
Like what specifically?
The amount of content in the game.
Oh.
The flaws that it has too much shit.
It didn't remove content,
Yeah.
therefore it's still bad.
They tried to add content with a mobile app thing, and I was like, I don't need more
Too much.
content.
It's like I'm already overwhelmed as is.
You don't need to give me the ADHD tracker so I can go, oh, there is a Korok seed 3 feet away. Let me just forget the fucking thing I'm about to do and go deal with that. I already do that when I notice a game. If I notice a Korok seed in the area, I will like do it. I don't need you to like I don't need fucking Siri to tell me about it every 3 seconds that I'm walking around. Thank you. Like I said, the actual game it's like I will recommend just playing it on the Switch 2 hardware, because the Switch 2 hardware can actually like handle this game as it like is supposed to. I know Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, they're big games. They were built for the Switch, but like the Switch 2 like makes it a very comfortable experience, especially in handheld mode.
I was playing. I played a little bit of Breath of the Wild as well after downloading the Switch 2 edition upgrade, and I was like surprised to just see how much like faster everything loaded. Like the load times on the Switch, like they weren't like the worst thing ever, but like you could feel like you had to wait out like these load times. But like honestly, it's like a few seconds on the Switch 2. It's insane. Like somehow they managed to load this gigantic world like almost instantly. It's crazy, and it feels really nice, just like frame rate wise.
I still have yet to try it, but I think the ultimate test for me would be uh, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, because that had the most egregiously bad load times of any Switch game I've ever played. So I'd like to see how quickly it loads on the Switch too.
Landon, do you want to save Switch 2 specific games for after, and we talk about the more of the Switch 1 better performance stuff now, or do you want to?
I mean, the only other game I played a little bit of besides Balatro
Is a little bit of Cyberpunk.
Is a little bit of Cyberpunk, and from what I've been able to play, not much. I'm still in like the very early shit. Once again, I'm focusing on Tears of the Kingdom, and when I'm not playing Tears of the Kingdom, it's probably Mario Kart, just so I can be, frustrated at that instead of Tears of the Kingdom. It like the game like looks really nice. I've run into like one graphical issue where a car trunk or the car hood was like closed and it was supposed to be open, so my character's hand just reached through the hood and started messing around with stuff.
How do you keep finding weird shit like this? Like every time you play a Western AAA game, you find some weird glitch.
To be fair, I made my character and then immediately save and quit the game because making my character was already too long of a process for the amount of time I had. And so when I booted the game up, I think it just went like it was like, oh, okay, the trunk should be closed probably for this cutscene. Because it didn't remember because the mechanic already like turned around away from like the car. So the hood was like it decided to close it. Like it was like it probably thought it should have been because it was a fucking car.
Yeah.
But yeah. So it was just funny. I have the clip. I will share it on the Discord. Probably do that now. So people can watch that. So if you're watching this episode, go check out our Discord. It's going to be in the spoilers. So tune in there.
All right. As far as other games, Landon reminded me, I have also played not too much of it, but I played a little bit of Fast Fusion, and that game, it looks really, really nice. I actually was able to play it with it has support for up to 4K, and I was trying that out, and it looks really, really nice. The weather effects, the other visual effects like the blur when you're going really, really fast, and the foliage of the surrounding areas, just a really phenomenal looking game. Like Mario Kart World looks good, but like out of the 2 Switch 2 games I have, like Fast Fusion is like gorgeous. Like I have to play more of it. And I have a feeling that they're like getting a performance mode like ready for like when there's more support for like other frame rates and stuff like that, and they want to like up it to 120, because for some reason the different like modes that you can pick are like 1080 60, 1440 60, and then 4K 60. So I have to imagine that they're getting ready to like do a 120 FPS mode when they can actually do that, which would be really cool in handheld. I think that'd look insanely nice. But yeah, it's fun. Um, but Landon was talking about a Switch 2 Edition game that he was playing. I haven't played any actual Switch 2 Edition games, but I have played a little bit of Switch 1 games that have free upgrades, which honestly, the line between these are a little blurred. The real main difference is the upgrades are paid and usually have some extra content, but they still have like the stipulation of they're going to run better, they're going to look nicer on average. And I played quite a bit of Pokemon Violet, now that it doesn't run like ass anymore. It actually
It's
runs good.
it's
That's
a
good.
playable game now.
It I mean, yeah, I know everybody wants to beat the dead fucking horse with that, but like it it doesn't look too like, honestly, the art style itself, it doesn't, you know, it's just not going to look amazing no matter what. But the colors pop a lot better. The textures look a little bit cleaner depending on what the texture is. They were kind of choosy with which ones to up-res and which ones not to. But overall, the game just looks nicer. It runs so much better. I think the only time it really has like a little bit of a frame dip is like in Terror Raids when you're starting the terrestrialization, but it's only like the initial like moment when it starts where like there's a small dip and then it goes right back up and it's fine. Like there's nothing all that, there's no major drops. Stuff really far away doesn't render at like 1 frame per 2 seconds, like the windmills, or like people walking all the way in the back. Like everything's like smooth. It has the same pop in problems, unfortunately. Like you're gonna see stuff popping in a little bit further away, but like it doesn't pop in and then have like 2 frames of animation. Like you'll immediately have smooth animations from all the way back, and it just it plays great. Finally, thank God. And they did the right thing, and they didn't charge it, because if they did, that would have been the scummiest thing ever. But I'll definitely say, like, I'm looking forward to Landon eventually finally playing it, because I think the game itself, performance aside, is really fun. So I'm hoping that Landon will feel the same when he gets to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I plan on playing it this year. I want to beat Tears of the Kingdom, and then that if I beat that before Donkey Kong comes out, because someone bought me a copy of Donkey Kong, essentially. They paid off, they pre-ordered and paid off a copy for me. So I have a copy of Donkey Kong for when that comes out. I'm not sure 100% if I'm going to end up like playing it right away. It looks fun, especially after the last direct we just had. But I plan on playing a little bit more Cyberpunk, just to say, yeah, I played this game that I swore I'd never play back in 2020, but here we are.
Times change.
And then probably if I decide to play Donkey Kong, I'll play that. And if I don't decide to play Donkey Kong, I'll play Pokemon Scarlet. And then basically Pokemon Scarlet's going to be what's next after Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Or, prior to that. Just depends on what I'm feeling at the moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then any other free upgrade games that you tried out? I only tried out like a couple of the other ones, because there's like a dozen or so games that got these free upgrades. I played a little bit of Link's Awakening to see how that runs now, and very nice.
I just watched the clip that you posted, Landon. She just sticks her fist right in there like
She
it's
just
nothing.
Full fists that fucking
She
cyber.
fisted the hood of that car.
Yeah. It's great.
I
You hear all
love
the
it.
sound effects and everything, and it's
Yeah.
kind of funny. So there we go.
Yeah.
I I have not had a chance to try out any of the free upgrades. I did remind myself how awful Pokemon Scarlet loads though, because I tried it out on my OLED when I was downloading stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of horrendous, isn't it? It is.
Oh yeah. It definitely it's insane the difference. It's really is.
Yeah, I'm
Speaking
looking
of
forward to it.
performance differences, a lot of Switch games, as long as they were developed in a way where like there's dynamic scaling, either resolution or frame rate, they are going to run better because the Switch 2 is just more powerful. So I've tested a bunch of little games. Honestly, like almost every game, whether or not there's like a visual up difference, has had at least load time improvements. Like I played some Hatsune Miku Project Diva Megamix, and like the songs in that game when you try to play it on Switch 1 load really slow. Like I'm sitting on a loading screen for 30 seconds, 45 seconds for the songs that have like the more detailed FMVs that go with them. And on Switch 2, I think the longest time I've waited is about 18 to 20 seconds. Most songs load in about 10 or 12 second range. So really nice that a rhythm game where you play these 3-minute songs, you don't have to wait 3 minutes between sessions of playing a song.
Yeah.
It's really great.
Very convenient.
Yeah. Uh, on top of that, I've been playing Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. I jumped into Hacker's Memory, and Cyber Sleuth has some issues on the Switch where like uh, there's these like very detailed backgrounds in certain parts of the game. I don't want to get into it because it's kind of spoilers for a couple parts, but like they have these extremely detailed, like almost like CGI or FMV like backgrounds that are playing as you're moving through them,
And
and
the city
no, well,
area.
not just that, but there's like inside someone's mind, there's like this weird like
Oh yeah,
FMV
those
thing.
parts.
And then there's like a weird realm of like unconsciousness or subconsciousness that has like a weird pattern that like is spiraling around. It's like super detailed.
That's right.
The frame rate would drop quite a bit on the Switch playing that. On the Switch 2, it doesn't have a frame rate improvement. It's just 30 FPS, but it's smooth. I didn't have any issues with that, thankfully. There's sometimes there used to be frame rate stutters when like you'd have your Digimon following you through a detailed city area like you were talking about, and that doesn't happen anymore. So like just games in general, they tend to run a little bit better. I played a little bit of I tried to play a little Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Unfortunately, that one doesn't really seem to look or run that much better. So it's a case by case basis. Thankfully, that game's like 8 years old now, so like it was a Switch 1 launch year title, so can't really expect much from that. But maybe they'll go back and upgrade it. Who knows?
I kind of hope Monolith Soft actually goes back and gives us maybe not Xenoblade Chronicles X because that just came out this
We'll
year,
we'll,
the definitive edition.
we'll
But
get on that.
I hope 1, 2, and 3, since those are all like a little bit older, get like Switch 2 editions.
Yeah.
It would be nice. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, in general, just like different games, if the frame rate had a little bit of issues, it's probably going to be locked to whatever its target was. If it had dynamic resolution scaling, it'll probably run at higher resolutions, if not the max resolution. So if you are planning to play Switch 2 games in the future and you're looking to upgrade to a Switch 2, just know that like your existing library is probably going to have a performance boost just because of the better hardware. Uh, but I am still hoping that they get third parties, especially get to more game compatibility, because there's some notable games that still aren't supported on Switch 2 yet. Like I was on the eShop and I was just browsing, and it'll tell you on the eShop if there's a certain game like you literally cannot download it. Nier Automata's Switch port is not ready for Switch 2 yet. That is weird.
Wow.
That is weird. Like, there's all these other games. They're all set to go. Like, all the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters have been updated to run properly. They had a little bit of an issue with the first game for some reason. They fixed it. But, like, Chrono Cross is not ready for Switch 2, not supported.
Damn.
And Nier Automata is not supported. And there's a couple, like, other, like, small games here and there. But, like, So like hopefully with time those will, roll out support, but it's nice that the games run better. So the big game. We got to talk about the big game. This game came out alongside the Switch 2. It's time to talk about Mario Kart World. We're not. This is not
Oh.
a. You talked about Cyberpunk 2077 already, Landon.
Said it was the big game that came out alongside.
It is a big game that came out alongside. Honestly, if we're talking about file size, it is the biggest game that we got a physical release for alongside the Switch 2. So
There's only fucking 5 games we got a physical release for. I don't know what you're talking about.
Honestly,
know.
I would say, I mean, among third parties, Cyberpunk is the big game.
yeah.
Here's
So all right,
60% of the library right here.
Let's talk about Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is the big launch title for the Switch 2, and it's fucking Mario Kart again.
I can't believe they made a fucking Mario Kart game again.
I mean, to be fair,
yes. You see the title where it says Mario Kart? Did you know Mario's Kart is in it?
I know.
Did you know that Mario is in it?
Listen, Landon, unfortunately, I did not get a physical version, so I only know this little sticker here that tells me that Mario Kart World is included in my Switch 2. That's all I know.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Did I eat that sticker?
Sure, I'll send it to you.
Thank you.
But yeah, Mario Kart World, initial impressions. Jack, how are you feeling about Mario Kart World? How's it control, the content on offer?
Mario Kart World does a lot right. And there's a few things about it that piss me off. I've been playing it a lot, and it's really fun. It's very fast. Like, gameplay-wise, it is, like, the most exhilarating Mario Kart game to date, just because of, like, all the different, like, tricks you can do, and, like, the rail grinding and the wall riding and shit, and you get so many, like, opportunities for speed boosts, and also just the max speed is so fucking fast.
I'm wondering how 200cc, when they eventually add that, is going to end up panning out. It's going to be insane.
That will be a nightmare to play.
I think they might have to actually tone down 200cc speed compared to 8 for it to work.
Because the game is already very fast and pretty hard. And let's talk about that. Game's hard. Like, way harder than Mario Kart 8.
There's 24 racers now, and they are fucking chaotic, and they are out for blood. If you are playing 150cc and you are not all the way out in front of the pack, expect to be struggling between like slots 4 through 23. I swear to God, it is that insane.
And not only that, but the AI just straight up cheats in this game. Like, it has some of the worst rubber banding I have ever seen in the entire franchise. And also, I swear they get like crazy rolls on items. Like,
welcome back, Mario Kart Wii.
It really feels like it in that way, because like they get insane items when it feels like you get barely anything.
Oh yeah, like I'll be in like third or fourth place, and I'll get like a banana and maybe a mushroom, and then like the like 5 through 8 and 9 will have like triple red shells and like triple mushrooms and the spiny shell and like a fuck ton of other shit, and it all gets aimed at me. Like, stop hitting me.
That's another thing that people have noticed too, is that part of the reason why, especially in like Knockout Tour, why it's so hard to catch up when you're behind is because the AI don't really go out of their way to hurt each other. Like, they pretty much only go for you, the player, which is why, like, especially in, like I said, especially in Knockout Tour, when you get down to like the last 4 racers and you're like in the last segment, if you're in 4th place, you basically might as well just
restart the tour.
I mean, unless you want to finish in 4th, but I was going to say just accept the fact that you're going to finish at best in 3rd, because there's no way, like, with how far apart the characters will end up being, there's no chance.
Yeah. I did
Like
notice what you were saying though. Like I've seen so many instances where like they'll be holding items, like they'll be holding triple green shells spinning around them, right? And there'll be like
yeah,
3 or 4 other racers like right in front of them, like dude, fucking throw that shit. And then they
yeah,
don't do it, and then you pass them, and then they throw all of them at you.
yeah, straight up.
Like
It's
okay,
like now, okay, I have 3-starred every 100cc cup in the game. It took a while.
100cc or 150?
150cc, sorry. That's what I meant to say.
It was like you did something doable.
Yeah. No, I have 3-starred every 150cc cup.
God's
You've
And
done something
it was
impossible.
difficult. Not impossible, but difficult.
now this is
Getting
for is this for Grand Prix and Knockout
for
Tour?
for Grand Prix. Sorry. I meant to say.
You might have said it.
Every
I just wanted to clarify.
150cc cup just for Grand Prix. It's hard. And like in some cases, like I really just got dicked over by items. Like especially I think it was the banana cup is what it is, where like I got to the very end of Great Question Mark Block Ruins or whatever that one is called. And
Just do the home improvement grunt. Yeah.
the Great Block Ruins.
Yeah.
And I was like at the very end, and I was about to get first place on all 4. At the very end of the last race, 3rd lap, I get blue shelled. And then it takes me like 12 more tries to finally get the 3-star on it. Like I kept restart. Like I was stuck on like Peach Beach, like in some cases. Like game is hard, but it's doable.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that getting 3 stars on Knockout Tour, which means you need to get first place
on every segment, by the way. Yes.
At every checkpoint.
If you get like I noticed that like if you even get one where you're not in first, you can only get 2 stars at best, because that happened to me once.
I've never like it's dare I say luck based. Like not impossible, but luck based. Because of how the fucking AI operates in this game.
Landon, did you want to chime in and add to the difficulty thing? Because I do want to talk about more than just the difficulty, so I'm trying to just...
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Mario Kart World. What is there to say? Perfectly balanced, excellent game, so many courses. There's so much to do and so much to see. You know, it's got a great battle mode. It's got 5 different things you could do with it. It's such like the perfect video game ever made. Why make a sequel?
Yeah. Oh God. But
that was a good bit. That was a good bit.
Referring to like
the audio. For the audio listeners, Landon was holding a copy of
he had Mario Kart World
in his hand, and then he just dropped it out of his hand and revealed Mario Kart 8 Deluxe behind it.
Yeah. But yeah, the only thing I want to say about the difficulty, because I really want to talk about just like the content more than anything, is that just like, yeah, like I said, short and sweet. It is Mario Kart Wii levels of bullshit at points. So if you are not down for that, it is tough. Thankfully, there are a few things that are a little bit easier to swallow with it. One thing I noticed is, except for the blue shell, although it really does depend. So when you get hit by stuff, it's not as much as like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where like no matter what you get hit by, you're in some form of tumble or spin that just slows you down really bad. Depending on how you get hit, what speed you're going at, what you're getting hit by, if you're colliding with another vehicle, what have you, because there's a lot of like NPC vehicles that are just like running on the freeways and stuff between that also can affect you, obstacles and stuff like that. You don't always take the same kind of collision. It's very conditional. So like you can like tumble forward, but you'll still have your momentum, and then you'll be able to keep going with just a slight loss of speed. So like it's very dynamic, but it doesn't make up for the fact that every AI is out for your ass, dude. Like, as at least the momentum it's a little bit closer to like Double Dash, where like you can still keep going the more you get hit, but like you're getting hit by like 20 other racers, dude. It's so insane.
Yeah.
I've only gotten a gold cup on all of the Grand Prix. I haven't bothered to do like multi-star ones yet, and I didn't even do it for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because I'm not that good at Mario Kart. So I don't think I ever will. I want to try to get at least 1 star on everything, but there's like 1 or 2 cups where I have a gold cup, no stars, and I keep trying to redo it over and over, and they keep fucking me every single time. So like Nako Tour, I'm like 4 cups out of the 8 in, and I don't have. I think I have like one that's like 2 star, another that's like 1 star. But I've gotten first place on the first 4, and I'm working my way through those. So it's tough trying to play through it, but it is a lot of fun. We'll get to more of like the mechanics and like what makes it fun after I hear. I want to hear. Do you actually have anything to add about the difficulty, Landon?
I was taught if I have nothing nice to say, I should talk about it behind its back. So
Okay,
we're
he's it's not looking.
yeah, it's not looking, so we're good. Fuck, this game sucks. Cock. Jeez.
That was 5 words. You said you had 3 words.
Oh. Fuck, shit, piss.
Yeah, the tried
There
and
we
true.
go.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, goddamn, this fucking free roam's fun.
Yeah. So let's talk about the content. So there's a new open world. There's a free roam that you can do. It's, to be honest, it feels like a little bit of an afterthought to like add a mode where you explore the interconnected world. It feels like they made the interconnected world as a way to make variance in the content that you'll be playing for the most part. But then they were like, "Oh, well, we have this interconnected world. Let's let you just roam around in it." Because like you can do like a bunch of missions and stuff, and like collect and like find panels to like drive over, and these like Peach Medallion collectible coins and stuff. But the tracking for this content is very barren. It's hard to
Oh
keep.
god, it's awful.
Like the only thing that you really get a good grip on where everything is that each of the tracks on the world map, when you bring it up in the free roam, will show you the surrounding amount of question mark blocks and what you've collected out of those. As far as everything else, it's just a tally on the bottom corner how much of them you have done and nothing else. I mean, yeah, you also have like the characters will like show, if you hover over characters all over the map, it'll show you how much of the costumes you've collected for them. But it's very minimalist. Like you don't have a good grip on what have you completed, what have you not completed. And I think that's something that I really hope that they try to fix and like update in the future to just give us more information on the free roam mode that we can play, because it's so hard to keep track of it all.
You know
I
what I
think
want that they got rid of? The stats screen. Like your overall
Yeah.
stats that
They
tell
don't,
you like which racer you've used the most and everything.
how many coins you've
Like that's,
collected in total, like all that's
yeah,
gone. Yeah.
how far you've traveled, how many mini turbos you've used, like it's gone.
Like it
that
keeps
was a
track of
lot
it.
of fun
It keeps
to
track of a
look
lot of that
at.
stuff, but it doesn't show you
But
this stuff.
you don't have a way to access it.
Yeah, you can't like look at it. It just tells you this stuff when like it gives you, because you can get stickers and you can get vehicles, and like if you reach milestones, it will tell you that you've done them, so it's tracking them somehow. It just will
Like
not show you them. But
I've also noticed that there's no settings on the main menu at all.
yeah,
Like
you
there is
basically
no
are
options.
just you're basically
Period.
just going into the. You can only control whatever options you have access to when you go into the modes. It's kind of weird. But there is an interconnected world. There's 30 new, or not 30 new. There's 30 main tracks in the game. And then there's like dozens. Like I don't even know the exact amount. I've been told like somewhere in like the 3-digit range, like 100, 200. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know, but there's literally
It's a
dozens of
lot.
interconnecting routes between these tracks, and that is like the main thing about Mario Kart World. Like even if you don't play the free roam, like it feels like this game's more like Mario Kart Road Trip or Mario Kart World Tour. Like you are going from place to place. Grand Prix even does this too now, so like you don't do like 3 laps on one race on each race. You'll do 3 laps on the first race, and then every other race you'll do a pathway to the next race, which is several segments, and then 1 lap around the next actual course. Uh, yeah,
I will say I like that idea in concept for the Grand Prix. I wish that you had an option to turn them off though,
Yeah,
because
I wish there was an
most of the
option.
time, most of the time, I'd kind of prefer to just do the
Like
regular 3-lap race.
like would it have been all that difficult for them to just have like a just call it like classic Grand Prix and then like
Yeah.
and then Grand
And then like
Prix
World 2 and then like World
World Tour
Grand
yeah,
Prix.
World Tour Grand
Yeah.
Prix, and like you have the option to pick either the new way to play it or the old way, because like, and here's the thing: there's a lot of interconnecting routes, but you don't even get access to all of them through the two main modes. So like, there's Grand Prix and Knockout Tour. Knockout Tour and Grand Prix, they will use like separate routes whenever they can, but there's so many more, and the only way you will access them is through versus races and online. That is 90% of the time what you're going to play if you're not playing with friends. If you're playing with friends, you can pick and choose more like what you're actually going to do, whether you're going to do a 3-lap race or a lap based like regular race, or if you're going to do the interconnecting routes. It's a lot easier to control that if you're playing with friends only, but online you don't get that choice. From what I've been told, you just pick whatever the 3 options are or random, so it's kind of hard to get a regular like racetrack. So that's a gripe. I know we're griping a lot, and I want to talk more positively about the game. So there's a lot of good stuff to say, but getting more gripes out of the way is that there's just not enough options on how to engage the content of the game. Is what we're saying, just like flat out, just to keep it short and simple and sweet. There's a lot of good content here, but the options to play with it, it feels like I really hope over time they just add that stuff in as free updates. Like this game really could use
Yeah.
those.
This is purely speculation, but I have a feeling that there's a lot of like smaller things like the stuff that we've been mentioning that got left off because they were trying to push this out as a launch title.
That's fair. That you might be onto something there.
And I would not be surprised if we got like quality of life updates like that in the future.
I'll say like for the launch line for as a launch game, it's still great. Like it's not like there's anything wrong with it outside of these like it's just like I wish it had this and I wish it had that. Uh, but like the interconnecting routes are a lot of fun at least. I've actually tried to play a bunch of different modes so that I can actually get experience with like the different content uh, pieces that we have to play. I've been doing like time trials in order to play like full routes. I've done versus races to like go through interconnecting routes that aren't covered by the other 2 modes. So there's a lot there. It's just trying to find ways to actually get to it and play it. How do you feel about the structure of the game as it is currently, Landon? Where we actually like talk about how we feel about the courses and routes, because that's the meat of the game. We'll talk about that.
It's fine. Like I do wish like you had the option to switch between like classic Grand Prix and like the new Grand Prix, even if they wanted to like make here's a set of 6 classic and here's a set of
Yeah.
completely different like ones where they kind of randomize like the course selection just to give you a little bit different between the two, even if it's like 2 separate and you have to do it like just to have that. There's sometimes where man, it just feels easier to do better in like a standard like 3-lap race than it does the segmented races, and I've kind of felt that's even since like Mario Kart 7 when they first
Yeah.
introduced the idea of the segments. So there's that. But overall, I mean, I feel battle mode is lacking
Oh yeah.
content.
It's not as bad as Mario Kart 8 base from Wii U, but like it's such a step back from Deluxe.
It's a huge step back, that's for sure. I wish that the character costume, like the character select screen, was a little bit cleaner. To where like you clicked on a character and then you could select the costume you want for said character, and not like everything's here.
Yeah, so like
Have fun.
All of the major characters have like some number of costumes if they're not. So there's all these like regular characters and there's like critters that you can unlock from like the one item. We'll have to talk about the items as well. But there's like they don't like submenu this. Like it's just like, okay, here's Mario's like 10 different outfits and they're in 10 different slots.
Okay, that is true, and the way they are organized is dog shit. But there is, if you're in the character select, like you can press a button and then it organizes all of the characters by their costume.
But then
so like you have all of Mario's costumes.
But
and
then
all of
that
Luigi.
means you have to scroll multiple pages to get the characters you want.
I know it's still cumbersome, but
it's at least it's better than not having anything.
But no, they absolutely should just have like costume options like under each character, like they did in Mario Kart 8.
I think
I don't know why they went backwards on that.
Did they do it just because it would like they would have to work like that into like does that conflict with like the Yoshi and Shy Guy colors or something? Like I don't know. I don't pick those characters, so I don't know.
I don't even know.
From what I played Shy Guy once and they didn't give me a chance to select his color.
Oh, so you don't even have the color options.
Shy Guy doesn't even have color options. Yoshi does, but they're like also different costumes as well.
So then just
so yeah.
Okay. So like the one holdout reason that I was thinking maybe they did it for this reason, like doesn't even apply. That's kind of funny.
Also, where's fucking Spiked Goomba?
So where's Spiked Goomba? How do we feel about the roster before we jump into the courses, since we're talking about the roster? The character roster is big, but it does lose quite a few. It loses all of the crossover characters from 8 that we used to have, and it also cuts the Koopalings. We don't have the Koopalings, just Bowser Jr. And a few other characters, but we do get a ton of like Mario Mooks that you can play as. Like half the roster is like all these critters, so like you have a lot of options for characters to play.
I love that they added the critters.
The critters are great.
Like Monty Mole, please. Snowman, please. Cow, please.
I love the penguin. Fucking just the penguin's great.
Little penguin guy, please. So like it's mostly like the front half where it's like all of the staple characters, all like the normal fuckos with their shitty costumes. And why does Shy Guy only have 2 costumes? Fuck off.
Pauline also only has 2 costumes, and they're literally the 2 from Mario Kart 8. Like that's it. They didn't even give her a new one.
Shy Guy technically has 3. I mean, Pauline has 2 total, but Shy Guy has 2 like extras.
That's what I mean. He has 2 costumes and his default.
Yeah. And neither of them are different colors, which he had more options in Mario Kart 8, actually.
Yeah. So it's I love that they added costumes to a console release for Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was only tour before, so like
so it is like this is something I like did want to see happen, but it can be done better.
Yeah.
But that said, let's talk some positive about it though. Like that there's a lot of although some characters could use more, like some
characters have a shit ton.
Yeah, some characters have some
great costumes.
Yeah, some characters have some great costumes. Like Donkey Kong's like sports outfit or whatever, like where he's got like the padding and everything. Like he looks.
Donkey Kong really could have more though. That's his only other costume.
Again, positives.
I know,
but like Rosalina has a new Aurora where she's got like a nice like sparkly glittery dress outfit. It's cool that the princesses, you can actually just pick their biker outfit for any like kart vehicle. It's not just like dependent on which thing that you pick.
Technically that Rosalina costume was in tour, but
talking about the mainline console titles, like console.
Well, you said it was new, so I'm just trying to correct.
Compared to 8 Deluxe.
Okay.
Everything's new compared to 8 Deluxe.
Yeah. There's...
God. This is going to be a disaster.
It's already a disaster.
Did you see the title of the group?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. It's just They can always do more. I mean, like, who's
Do-
missing from like the main core?
of characters.
As far as
Yeah,
like flat out characters,
female villager.
well,
They
I
could add
mean,
female villager
well, the thing
again.
is, is like, assuming they don't want to bring back, they don't want to bring back any non Mario characters. Like, which Mario characters?
I was gonna
should they
say,
bring?
like, as far as
Or at least
first,
or at least Mario adjacent.
as far as like strictly Mario characters, there's only like a small handful I can think of that they don't have. Like Diddy Kong is one of them.
Like Diddy.
Because Diddy Kong was in Mario Kart Wii, so aside from that though, I mean, like, they left off the Koopalings, which I'm sure some people are upset about, but honestly a lot more people were upset that 7 character slots were taken up in Mario Kart 8 by the Koopalings. So I'm personally not too bent out of shape about it.
I mean, as far as a base game roster, this is really good. Like, this is literally just the out of the box, like, a lot of stuff to choose from.
It's a great roster. I will say, no, just, I know we're trying to stick to the positives. Dry Bones doesn't have any costumes, and that upsets me.
Well, I think it's just because he's. I mean, even though he is a character, I don't. Did they give any of like the Mooks costumes?
Technically, Koopa Troopa has a few. He has like 6.
Okay, yeah.
And Shy Guy has a couple. So, like, you know,
Yeah.
Mook characters are like capable of having, and Lakitu has a couple actually.
I think it's just the those are non. Whereas I think is Dry Bones a critter.
But like,
anyway,
the thing that gets me about it though is that like Dry Bones and Wiggler are the only 2 returning characters that don't have any costumes, which
that's fair.
Is like, come on, man. Dry Bones has been a staple since DS.
I will say, like, the food thing that they added to like unlock the costumes, it didn't end up being as big of a thing as I was expecting it to be. It is neat that like they double as like a mushroom, so like you will at least get a speed boost, but it's a little weird. Like, it feels like they just did it just because it's like, aha, this is fun, let's just do it. So like they did, and it's like, it's cool and all, but it's so much more minor than I was expecting it to be, because they like put it in the direct and it was like, this is gonna be a thing, you could eat food. It's like, okay, sure.
The only like the big thing behind the food is that specific foods will get you specific outfits, and like outfit unlocks are tied to like, because like I went out of my way to get all of the character costumes in this game because I was bored and I wanted to. And like I used a guide for it because, to be quite honest, fuck like searching around the entire world for like eat each food and like trying each one to see if it gets me something new. But it's a way of doing it, I guess.
It's partially the food itself, but it's also dependent on like the region. Like, if you're not near like an engineer styled like course, like Whistle Stop Summit, you won't get like the engineer outfits for the characters that have that. Not only a few of them do, but if you're not near that course, then like if you're near that course, you can get that outfit.
But it is also like certain foods are just like exclusive to certain areas. Like you can only get the popcorn at Boo Cinema, for example. You can only get ice cream at Sky High Sundae. Stuff like that.
Yeah. How do we feel about the fact that vehicles no longer have separate customization options? It's just the vehicle itself, and that's it.
I don't mind it that much. I do kind of wish we still had different wheel options, though. Like gliders, I could take or leave because those barely mattered, honestly. But like having different wheel options, I thought was always really cool. But it doesn't really bother me too much because there are a lot of kart options, and there are, you know, you can mix and match. Well, I shouldn't say mix and match, but like you can play any kart with any character. Like you can play as Bowser on the little scooter if you want to. And you know, the stats will reflect that. But I don't mind it that much, but I also wouldn't be terribly surprised if they added customization back in the future, but we'll see.
Yeah. I don't mind it either. My thing with it is though is that because like there's no like hidden stats in this game, unlike in previous games where
There
like
are
there's
actually.
there it's which ones? Because like you might be thinking of
No, there are actually like certain cars have
it.
different stats for like off-road ability
Yeah, it's that's
and
like
stuff like that.
that's like the major thing that's like still there. But most of the stuff has like been standardized as opposed to having like different stats like they did in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Like there's no like mini turbo, there's not like an invincibility difference anymore.
No.
So like a lot of the stuff is now pretty much what you see is what you get outside of like the off-road traction is like the major thing.
Off-road tractions and water speed is another one because certain carts are better on the water and certain carts are worse. So
But um, I like the amount of vehicles that there are to pick from. There's a lot, but I do feel like I do feel like if we're not going to have glider and tires to like just kind of mix and match like more minute pieces, I just hope they just add more. Like they're probably going to add more carts and bikes and ATVs and stuff like that over time. So I'm just looking forward to them hopefully doing that because I mean 40 is quite a bit. That's how much you have for now, but with less customization options, I would like the main thing that we can actually pick to just have more. But there's a lot to pick from. I've been trying to find my favorites. I finally found a couple vehicles that work for Rosalina, my favorite character. I'm usually using either the B Dasher or the W bike, whatever the W the Waluigi Wario bike, basically. So it's I've managed to find stuff that works, and I think that like when you mix and match your character and a vehicle, you will find something that works. Like I like using the penguin and the little dumpy. That's a really fun combo.
love the little dumpy.
It's such a
What
good
a
cart.
what a great name
Yeah.
too. Apparently the meta has been revolving around the baby blooper cart. Like that's what everyone is saying is like the best cart in the game right
I
now.
do not care about the meta.
I don't care either. I'm just saying. Um, I B Dasher is like I mean, part of it is the Mario Kart DS nostalgia, but the B Dasher is like pretty consistently like one of my favorite carts in the game for any character. I'd
Isn't
say
it
like,
just the same as like the standard cart?
No,
is it?
it's slightly it's actually a little faster.
Hmm.
It's I don't
Yeah, I was
remember
gonna
I don't
say
remember the full stat difference, but it's the standard cart is obviously your standard cart, but the B Dasher it has I think it's like slightly higher. It's either acceleration or top speed or might be
someone
both.
made a
It might be both in it, except handling is worse. I don't remember this. There is a slight difference though, and
some
I know that because I could not use Rosalina in the regular standard car because I wasn't going fast enough, and the B Dasher was giving me that little extra speed.
someone made a Google Doc that has like all of the carts like stats and also
Yeah,
stuff like their
of
like
course.
off-road and water speed. So, um yeah, I'm fairly certain that the B Dasher is different, but my favorite or at least most consistently good combo that I've used so far is Dry Bones on the B Dasher.
Nice. All right, Landon, your favorite character from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is not in this game.
Yes.
What are you running this time?
Uh, to the bathroom. I don't know. Um, I right now I've been playing a lot of Daisy since I unlocked her and like trying out different shit. I was playing on the Rob motorbike
Oh
for
yeah,
a little
that's right.
bit.
There's a motorbike. It's Rob.
They
Um,
fucking killed him and turned him into a bike. I can't believe it.
I hope they bring him back one day so I can ride Rob on Rob, some Rob on Rob action.
It could
Yeah.
happen. There's a dolphin bike, and you can play as the dolphin on the dolphin bike. So like,
Yeah, I
Hell
hope they
yeah.
did they take a corpse of a dolphin and just turn it into a cart?
I
Who knows?
who knows? Yeah.
Um,
It's fucked up if true.
it's fucked up. Nintendo fucked up again. Um, Yeah, so it's been like Daisy on like different things, just trying to find something that works. And that's about it. Like one day they will make the game good again, and I will be able to play as female villager on the fucking scooter with the cyber slick wheels.
You are really holding out hope that they bring back the crossover characters. I wonder if they will.
Listen,
Like, maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know. Who's to say?
it's not only did they take away my character, they took away the fucking vehicle. The Scooty Puff Jr. thing
Yeah,
is not in Mario Kart World. Fucked
yeah,
up. 0 out of
Yeah.
10. Negative 100 points.
yeah.
We're not even reviewing the game.
Yeah.
Negative 100.
So that is
Instant.
So that's the vehicles. We talked about characters. Now let's talk about the tracks and the routes. So there's I don't know the exact number of new versus retro, but like what are some standouts? What are some of your favorite tracks? There's quite a because there's quite a few good ones. I
Oh
think.
man. I really like Cheap Falls.
I was gonna say
Default's pretty
what they
good.
did with Cheap
Cheap-
Falls is really nice
Really
aesthetically.
fucking
Like I
cool.
love the new look for it.
Was it in Tour? What was Cheap Falls in previously?
Oh, was it? For some reason, I'm thinking of probably Koopa Falls from DS.
I think
yeah,
it,
no, Cheap Falls is a new one.
yeah,
It's
no.
new, but like
Oh, no,
I love the
it-
aesthetic for it.
It
Yeah.
did. I did think it was a returning course, but then I remember it's not Shy Guy Falls. Shy Guy Falls from 8 was like it was so similar. I was like, wait a minute, it's the same course. And it's not. It's not. It's a new thing. But yeah, Cheap Falls is nice. Any others?
DK Spaceport is fucking awesome.
Dude, DK Spaceport is sick. That is one of my new favorite ones.
Yeah. I just wish it actually went into space. Like it had a trail from that into Rainbow Road.
It's so cool though that like they literally took the first stage from Donkey Kong and then made a whole fucking race course where you go up it.
It's so fun.
Out of all of the like connecting path things, like it's unfortunate that there's only one way to get to Rainbow Road at the moment.
Yeah.
There's literally only one, and it's through Peach Stadium, and that's it.
Mhm.
And I think DK Spaceport honestly probably would have made more sense as like the way to get to Rainbow Road, but
yeah, but early course track, it makes sense. I'm looking at the track list right now. I'm trying to see. I do like great block ruins.
Boo Cinema is a really nice new track.
Boo Cinema is cool. Yeah.
I'm not usually one for spooky themed like courses and tracks, but like that's a pretty good one. I like how just unique it is. It's just so different.
You drive on a strip of film. Like how cool is that?
You go through the big jumbo screen.
You go through the theater screen. It's great.
Yeah.
And
then like the surrounding areas, they like made like Ghost Valley from like Super Nintendo as like a track that like leads into it. Like it's super sick.
It's really cool. I love what they did with Wario Stadium.
Yeah, Wario Stadium, they changed it a lot, and they had to because otherwise that shit would have been boring as hell. I like what they did with the SNES Mario Circuit tracks, because rather than just bring back Mario Circuit 3 again, they like put all of them like 1, 2, and 3 at least together. They didn't do 4, but 4 is like just kind of like a flipped version of one of the other ones, so like it didn't matter. But 1, 2, and 3, they put them together, and they actually like had them at the size that they were, instead of like making them bigger so that they're 3-lap courses. They just like, no, these are these tiny tracks, so just put them all together. They're one track, boom, done. And like it changes how you go into it depending on which pathway you leads into it. So I just think that's super creative way to actually make that course work. Like it breathes new life into it, so that's a good one.
I read recently that apparently Mario Circuit 3 was the first course they ever designed for Mario Kart, so that's the reason why they keep bringing it back.
They have attachment to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like
They
that
have
one.
so much of an attachment to it that they used that design for 10 other tracks in Super Mario Kart.
How do you guys feel about the two courses that have repeats but have new layouts in the Grand Prix? You got Crown City and Peach Stadium because you have they're so it's weird. So they're new tracks and they have multiple layouts depending
Oh
on
yeah, they do have.
which
Yeah, they do Crown City. I forgot that. Yeah, I forgot about that.
they do Crown City twice and they do Peach Stadium twice.
Yeah, so technically it's only 30 tracks total,
Yep.
but like, eh. I mean, I think it's cool. I like Crown City a lot, and Peach Stadium is pretty fun. So I got no problems with it.
Another one of the new ones that I really like is I might be saying the wrong name here. Is it Starview Peak or Starview?
It is Starview Peak.
Okay,
Yes.
yes. It's that one's really nice. I just like the aesthetic of it. I like that actually is literally what Rosalina's Ice World is probably like a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, this is what that should have been." Like it's just the Mario Galaxy theming and everything is just it's super sick. I like it quite a lot. That's another one that's good. Um God, there's quite a few new ones that are pretty good. Like we went over DK Spaceport. I like Whistle Stop Summit. It wasn't originally sticking out to me, but it's kind of grown on me uh, over time. I like that one quite a bit. Um, Dandelion Depths, I've gotten used to. What's Acorn Heights is the name of one of them. Acorn
Yeah.
Heights is really
I
cool.
I like Acorn Heights a lot. Man, I will say I think Choco Mountain is probably the most disappointing track in the game.
As far as like returning courses or in general.
I think in general, like I don't it just I feel like they could have done more with it. I guess I should say.
I
We've had Choco Mountain like a few times before, and like I just wasn't really crazy about it in this game.
Yeah, I mean it's fine. Yeah, it's one of those courses that it's like it doesn't really
I
stick out with like the
no,
all the other courses that they brought back and
I was gonna say that being said, the bar for like the average quality of courses in this game is very high.
yeah,
So like it's still okay. It's just not as good as the rest of them in my opinion.
yeah. We got Airship Fortress back and it's really nice. I like how it's next to the Bowser Castle, so like you do certain modes you can just go like I just think that's awesome that you have like Airship Fortress and Bowser Castle so close together you can work on you can have like one go into the other. The new Bowser Castle is pretty nice. It's not like my favorite one, but it's pretty cool.
I still don't think I've done a full 3-lap race on it, so I honestly don't remember what it looks
Yeah,
like.
it feels very I want to say like Mario Kart Wii Bowser Castle
Yeah.
with like the long carpeted pathways. But it's yeah, it's pretty neat. But it doesn't stick out because it doesn't do like we talked about this on our Mario Kart podcast. But like the Bowser Castles usually have some like big bombastic set piece, and you do have a Bowser that attacks like parts of the track. But like other than that's not something that's new. Like they've done that a couple times before. So like it doesn't stick out, but it's still a pretty fun course. The Dino Jungle rendition that they did. Oh, it's so
It's
much.
cool.
It's so I love
It's
it so much more than
it's really good.
it's.
It's
They made it Jurassic Park basically sort of thing. Like they actually just put a bunch of different dinosaurs in there. Like you're in like a
yeah.
park. It's really cool.
They solved the original problem of Dino Jungle, and that is not enough dinosaurs.
They just gave us more dinosaurs.
Yeah,
And there's
that was all it needed.
there's like a instead of there was like a segment in Dino Jungle where there was like a cave, but it was like kind of like a featureless cave. It just had like a geysers or they give you like a lab segment instead. So like you go into like a lab. So it's like it's really cool what they did with it. It's really creative. I'm glad that they did
And then
that.
like the dinosaur like breaks through the wall
Yep.
of the lab.
Yep. Uh, Wario Shipyard and Peach Beach are two really drastically different courses in this game, just because you don't have underwater segments anymore, and also Peach Beach they does redesigned to have like it's weird. So like Peach Beach in the previous games, Like it was very centered around the beach part. But like Peach Beach in this game, like there's like surrounding areas, like you have like that whole building that like you could see off in the side. You get to race
Yeah.
around that segment a lot more, depending on like which mode you're
Each
playing. It's
it does like the tour thing where like each lap is different, but you like just explore a different part of the course.
So yeah, the Grand Prix, while it used a couple of the new courses twice, it's not those aren't the only courses where like they change depending on where you're coming at them from. Like Peach Beach is one. I mentioned Mario Circuit. I think that's really cool. Is that like depending on which pathway you're coming from, a lot of courses are just like slightly different like that. It's uh, not all the courses, of course. DK Spaceport is there's only a couple pathways that really go to it, so it's pretty much going to be the same each time. But there's quite a few courses that they change up quite a bit. Uh, how do we feel about the? I know Landon's answer for this one. How do we feel about the Rainbow Road for this game?
Fuck Rainbow Road.
There's the three words.
There it is.
There's three words.
The three words I said it would be earlier. I like it. It looks really cool.
It's big. That course like 4.5 minutes long.
It's
Yeah.
too long.
Jesus. And that's
too long.
That's
too easy to get fucked over at the very end because
and when
of
I
how
say
long it is.
and when I say 4.5 minutes, I mean that's if you just like start from the beginning on the starting line for like a versus race. Like that's not
including the lead up.
Yeah. Then you're talking like 5 minutes.
I will say I lucked out and I beat the special cup with 3 stars on my first try. So I did not struggle. I did not have the struggle of getting blue shelled at the very end of Rainbow Road. But yeah.
I really like Rainbow Road in this one. It is a little long in the tooth, but they did that on purpose. It's got like little instances that are kind of reminiscent of various other Rainbow Roads, including like the crystalline water segment is kind of like one of the ones from the arcade game, which is kind of neat. One of the arcade games, so it's a pretty nice reference. You got like the big satellite section that's kind of a callback to Mario Kart 8, except better somehow. Just you got the rainbow thwomps; those are back, so that's pretty cool. Just yeah,
it's a hell of a lot better than Mario Kart 8's Rainbow Road. I'll say that.
Oh yeah, for sure. But overall, courses in this game, I do wish that there were more. But like you said, the bar of quality for the courses overall is quite high. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of variance in how you get to them. How do we feel about the interconnecting routes, though? Because there's a lot of routes. You have Knockout Tour and Grand Prix using them. I don't know how much experience you have with them. I tried to experience them as much as I could. I even went to versus races, like I said, to play a bunch of these. So there was a lot.
Yeah, outside of the ones that are in the actual cups, I have not had a chance to try much. I mean, I played some free roam, so I've like gone around, but like experiencing it as a like actual race course is a little bit different than like just fucking around the world trying to unfortunately stumble on some sort of fucking challenge or question mark block.
Jack?
Sorry?
I was waiting for your opinion on the routes.
So, oh, right. Sorry. I was reading a message and I forgot you were talking about that. The routes are good. I like them less than the 3-lap courses just because a general 3-lap course is more what I want out of a Mario Kart, but I think they are very fun. I think the interconnecting sections of the game are like, it's very exhilarating. Like you go really fucking fast in those because, not as many turns to take. A lot of them are, I wouldn't say straight lines, but like it is pretty much like a line.
To some extent, yeah.
A wiggly line in some cases, but
in most cases, I would argue.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's never like a straight line, obviously, but like it is get from point A to point B rather than go in a circle. But no, they're good. I like them. I think it's cool how like it connects the world together, and how like I know we didn't like really talk about it too much earlier, but free roam I love, and like the all of the just this giant cohesive world that connects all of the courses together, I think is really, really cool. And all of the options for interconnecting courses that you are available is nuts.
I really want them to just like make either like more knockout tours or Grand Prix cups. Even if you're reusing the same courses that already are in the game, just like pick different routes that connect them all. Cause like you could really change up the overall experience just by changing the routes that connect these areas together. Cause there's a lot of untapped potential with those. Like
Yeah, for
uh
sure.
like I said, there's a lot of unused routes. I was actually kind of impressed with like what I got. So like when I went into the game, I was expecting a lot of the routes to be very samey, and there's some that are like there's quite a few routes that are just like roads with traffic obstacles, and you're trying to get around the cars, and then you go to the next area, and then there are quite a few routes where there's a segment that's like that, but it's not usually the full stretch to like the next race if you're doing like a race, or they're not. It's not the full segment of a knockout tour. There's usually like various segments that are some weird area. Like there's an urban area that's like under like it's like it almost looks like a I don't know what they call those, but it's like this like these like ramps that go down, and then there's like a tar area. It kind of looks like a I don't want to call it a sewage system because it's not like underground, but like there's like these like big chain chomp balls like rolling around in that. Um, I can't remember which course that was near. That was really interesting. I did not expect to see something like that. And then, like I said, there's other routes where like it's kind of like a piece of an existing older course, like Ghost Valley is used near the Boo Cinema. The Big Donut Battle course from N64 leads you into Bowser Castle on a couple routes, which is really interesting. Just there's like a Thwomp Desert, which is a battle course from a previous game, is now Chain Chomp Desert as a battle course, but it's also a route that you'll drive past. So like you can have like that little section there. It's just like the routes are pretty varied, and there's like a lot of different ones. Like you said, they are point A to point B, but like there's more variety than I was expecting. So it can't replace just sheer quality new tracks, but I there's a lot more. So like when Landon was like saying in a previous episode, like is does this game have the content to be worth $80? I mean, that's still up to you to decide. But I'll say that there's more content there because of all the routes that they made and the variety of them than I was expecting going in. I was not expecting the sheer amount of
Yeah, no,
it's
there's a shitload.
so to that end, I'm happy. Although, like we said, like I just wish that they would just add more cups and tours to take advantage of those, and also give us the option to turn them off if we don't want to use them. Just
Yeah,
like
for sure.
because like sometimes I do really want to do like a weird like tour, knockout tour or Grand Prix tour style like race, but sometimes I just want to race on the tracks because the tracks themselves are really good too. So
Yeah.
I want to do all of it. That's why I've been like going to versus races and time trials to like play as much of that, and like free roam. I got to play more of that too because like I want to explore the world because there's a lot of stuff to do. Uh, I'm trying to think of other stuff that we didn't really talk about because we talked about online is pretty much the same as in Mario Kart 8, except you don't have a lobby, waiting room. You can actually just free roam while you're waiting for people to jump in. I do think that is objectively better than what Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart
Yeah.
7 and Mario Kart we had because you can just play the game while you're waiting for your friends to pop on. You can just
Yeah.
play the game while you're waiting for other people online to like it gives you something to do. You can actually just you're not just sitting there waiting. So as far as that experience, if you're like trying to play online with others, that experience is just way better. You just have more stuff to do. You don't have to just sit there and wait. Uh, that said, you can't tell people you're using tilt controls anymore. So is it really that much
Fucked
better?
up. Fucked up.
Fucked up. Exactly.
Fix it, please.
Yeah. Let us tell people we are using tilt controls, even when we're not, because I
Do they still
guarantee
have
you,
go? Do
go
they still
easy
have
on.
go easy on me?
I think they do. But I don't remember though.
Yeah.
They have most of the older ones. They just for some reason cut a few random ones.
Yeah. It's odd.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, we talked about. I mean, online's the same. Free roam. So free roam. I mentioned like what it was. It's not like a separate. It's a weird. It's not like a mode that you select on the thing. You just press a button and then you just start free roaming because the game just loads up basically in like a camera pan version of free roam, and then you can just kind of go
Yep.
in and do whatever. How do you
I
feel
love
about the free roam?
free roam was really fun. I've done a lot of just dicking around, just like exploring the world. And obviously I went out of my way to get all the costumes like I mentioned earlier, but like I love how instant it is because the main menu, like you said, it's just like overhead camera of like the last character that you played as just driving through the world. All you have to do, hit plus and you are in instantly. Like you're just in the world and it's just like, whoa. Crazy.
It's kind of crazy to think like you load up the game and then like you don't even have to like go through a bunch of menus. If you just want to just start playing the game just to play it, you can just be like plus button. All right, we're playing
Plus
the
button.
game.
Yup.
So like
Just right instantly. And
so
I
that
appreciate that in a game.
yeah, that is one thing that Mario Kart World does spectacularly is like because of the free roam, the way that it's integrated, even if it's not giving us enough information for like the stuff you can do in the free roam, like the fact that you can access it so quickly and easily, it makes it easy to just pick up and play if like you just want to just play Mario Kart. And you know, you talked about like the trick system. I like that the carts are more expressive. Like it's the mechanics. Just it makes it easy to like if you're gonna do free roam, you can just jump in and just kind of play around the playground that is the open world to just kind of get a feel for that because this game feels a lot different as far as those new mechanics go than previous games. So having an easy way to just get in and practice that stuff's really cool. Um, Landon, welcome back.
Hello.
We're just finishing up talking about all the different modes that we didn't really get to cover a whole lot of. We talked about the online, we talked about free roam. Is there anything else that we didn't get to? I mean, we didn't talk too much about battle mode, except for you bringing it
It's
up, and we
because
said it's
there's no battle mode to talk about.
it's okay. So like the way
Sure,
that it
okay.
works is there's 8 maps. They are maps that are part of the open world, gated off and like circled around, and like so that the way there you have a map to play in. Although there's only two that are like dedicated battle maps from previous games. You have the desert and the donut from previous games. So like those still play as you would expect them to, but they have like gated off versions of like Mario Brothers Circuit and like a few other courses as like maps. So it's not like and Moo Moo Meadows is another one. Um so like it's not the course from Mario Kart 8 where like you just have the course and you just run around the course, but it's still a little big because they are gating off the course in a way to make it a battle map, but it still has the size of a race course, which is bigger. So it's a little weird. Uh, but the problem is there's only 2 modes. They took away 2 of the best modes in
No
the
Shine
previous game.
Thief and no Renegade Roundup.
Fucked up.
Bring
Two
it,
words.
bring it back.
Yeah. I don't give a fuck about coin runners.
Bob on Blast, I could take it or leave it. Like it's fun, but like
Yeah.
it's just a
Bob
variant
on
of.
Blast Bob and Bless can be fun. Like it's pretty good. I like it more than coin runners.
But like Shine Thief and Renegade Roundup are just unique. You can't play. You can't do anything like those.
Literally, that's all I want. Just add those two, and you're good.
Yeah. Well, at
Maybe
that
some
point,
more
they might as
unique battle
well.
courses too. But like,
If their
yeah,
attempt at battle courses is to just like section off parts of the map, like I can't see why they can't just do that with more areas of the map. Like that'd be cool if they just were just like, oh, this area would make a good battle course. Just gate. Okay, battle map. Like they could probably figure something out with that.
Yeah.
You can get like a few more courses that way. Just get like, just fuck it. Give us 4 more maps. Do that.
I just want to play Renegade Roundup and Shine Thief. So until then, I will ignore battle mode.
Yeah. Any other thoughts, closing statements on Mario Kart World before we just finish up? Because we got one more major thing we want to cover. That's our hopes
Yeah,
for
Tokyo
next.
Blur is great.
It's fun. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's a great game. There are things that I think could be added to it, but it's still very early. Obviously, Mario Kart 8 got a lot of updates, so I'm expecting Mario Kart World to also get a lot of updates. So I'm kind of reserving judgment on certain aspects of the game until the future, but for now, I will say it's very fun and I like it a lot.
Uh, I'm in the same boat. I think that, like, as I've already said, I like the content on offer so far. I just want more options to engage with that content that's there, because the big open world that they made, all the interconnecting routes, the courses, even though there's not that many like actual regular courses, the variants that you can have with everything, just there's plenty of different like routes and like pathways you're gonna play. I just I just need more chances to like be able to engage with that. More cups, more tours, all that stuff. Be able to choose whether or not I do full lap or segment races, like, or if I want the new way of doing it, just give me options for that. Uh Bring back a couple battle modes. Just little things that, with updates, I think it's going to get better over time. But as far as like as a launch product, the content there is insane, like way more than I was expecting. I'm loving it so far. I would definitely say, as like, if I just went launch to launch game, I would say it's up there. It's not my favorite Mario Kart, like as far as just like on launch, but I think, it's definitely not my favorite compared to 8 Deluxe after the support, but it has the potential. It's pretty good. I like it. New mechanics are
I
great
think
too.
the real question comes down to, is it worth $80?
That's for you to decide.
Me?
No, I'm saying
I'm supposed to decide?
I'm saying the listener. Like, I don't think that it's up for any of us specific people to decide. I think that's going to vary based on how much do you love Mario Kart and how much do you like the content that this Mario Kart has. Like, it is not something that any one of us can answer for anyone else besides ourselves, basically. Uh, would I have happily paid $80 for it? Not going into it, but like if I paid $80 and then I'm playing it, I would say like, yeah, I've probably would be able to get my money's worth out of it.
Okay. Well, there we go.
That's me
We answered my
personally.
question.
That's me personally. Your answer could be different. The guy, like, random Joe Schmo listening to our podcast, their answer could be different. That's my answer.
Okay. Well, there we go. That's my thoughts on Mario Kart World. Also, my thoughts while playing Mario Kart World is, I really hope I can play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe plus Boosted Course Pass soon. Especially when I'm getting blue shelled and then 4 red shells get thrown at me, and then every single CPU blazes past me
It's
using 3 mushrooms.
It's a shame too. The last thing I want to touch on before I forget is that the items in this game, if it weren't for the fact that the AI is so good at fucking you over with them, there's a lot of really good, like really fun items in this game.
I think Kamek is a lot of fun.
It's really
I just
silly.
wish it was more likely that you run into like a new critter
Yeah.
Yes.
than it is to get a repeat,
Yeah,
just because of
just like skew to new
times
stuff.
I've seen Spike just like pisses me off.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
there's
I
and
keep get Sorry.
I was
Go
just
ahead.
gonna say there's some that are just like more like they're all over the map no matter where you go. Like Charge and Chuck, you
Yeah.
could just get wherever, no matter
Yeah,
what. So
I've gotten Charge and Chuck so many fucking times, I swear.
yeah, I mean, I like a lot of the like the items are pretty fun. The hammer is pretty cool. The golden coin shell I thought was kind of weird, but it's kind of fun. At least it's kind of interesting. I like that they brought back the mega mushroom and didn't bring back the music to play alongside it. Like I'm just glad that they because the soundtrack is phenomenal, and I don't like the little like the new Super Mario Brothers jingle playing over it. So, but it is cool to just run over like five racers all at once. It's really satisfying to just be like, yeah.
I hope a future update finally removes lightning.
God, maybe it's
And
Yeah.
that's my TED talk. Thank you for listening.
yeah. But we could go on and on about Mario Kart World. There's a lot to talk about, but like it's a good game. It's just got kinks that will hopefully be ironed out with updates. Last thing before we wrap up is that now that we have the Switch 2, um, how do we feel about it in general, and what are we looking forward to seeing as far as upcoming? Because there's plenty of free upgrades we could be seeing, Switch 2 editions that we don't know about yet, just stuff you're looking forward to.
Please, God, give us more themes than just the base 2. Please. I'm
He's
so
really
tired of just generic white background, generic black background. Like the 3DS had so much.
he's really asking for too much at this point. Jesus Christ.
I
Just
would
give
be,
us something.
I'd
Even
be,
just different colors.
yeah, like even if we could just pick like the DS had this, you could just pick different
Yeah.
colors. Just let us pick different
Honestly.
colors.
Like,
That's all I'm asking for.
yeah. And folders too.
I mean, they
I would
have
love
they already have groups. They're not going to give folders on top of groups. They can change how groups work. They could change how groups
Folders.
work. I think that would. I think it would make more sense if they instead of having to go to all software, if your groups could just be down on the bottom with like game key
I
cards
also
and stuff
kind
like
of
that, or virtual game cards
I
and
also
stuff.
kind of sorry. I also kind of wish that all software, and this is a thing that I've been wanting since the Switch one, but like I kind of wish that there was an option to have like the all software page is like the default. Like instead of just being a straight left to right of your most recently
Yeah.
played games, just like how about like a grid a little bit? Like I understand they want to make it easier to access all of like the like smaller like button icons in the bottom, like your options, like your NSO, your screen caps, your settings, your pair controllers, etc. But still,
Um,
um, I can't really think of anything like game wise at the moment. I mean, like obviously, there's stuff that I want in general, but like nothing is really coming to mind at the moment. I guess a new 3D Mario. It's been a while. I'd like one, but I feel like that's a given. Like that's going to happen at some point. So
They have a new 3D Mario coming out. It's called Donkey Kong Bonanza.
true. But is Mario in it?
It doesn't matter. You can make Mario in it.
Yeah.
There's an art mode.
I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Make
I'm sure
Mario's
there'll
face.
be. I'm sure there'll be a 3D Mario at some
There
point
will
in
be.
It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Uh, I like the system overall. I think my major complaint is just like the just yeah the battery on it could be better, and it does still suck that we're still rocking the two theme colors and no other options there, but like it's a more powerful Switch. It plays your Switch 1 games with faster loads, and a lot of the Switch games were made with the idea that future hardware could make them just run better in mind. So like that's nice to have backwards compatibility to the extent that the Switch 2 does. The games look great that are new for it so far. I do really hope that they revisit. So like you mentioned, like Xenoblade Chronicles. It'd be really nice if they just went back, just did like visual upgrades for all of those. Xenoblade Chronicles X probably had it planned because like they had like a cut like options for like performance and fidelity modes. So I'm sure maybe they'll bring that forward, and then also like go back and do that with the other 3 games. Hopefully, we'll see.
I hope so.
Uh, I will say that like a lot of the games that like I have on Switch 1, they're running in a way that like I don't need most of them to get like upgrades or patches or anything. Like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is really it's interesting. Like Jack, you know how like when you're playing Smash Ultimate, like you want to pick like an alternate costume for a character on Switch 1 and like you have to wait a second for it to display it properly like on the character
Yeah.
select. That doesn't
I assume
happen.
it just does that.
No, it's just
Yeah.
it's just instant. Like,
Yeah.
and then like the Fountain of Dreams stage doesn't have the frame drops anymore. Having like 8 ice climbers all at the same time doesn't like drop the frame rate or anything. Like the game just runs nice. Like you don't need an update anymore for that, honestly. Um, they've already updated quite a few games that I could have asked for. Like they already did that for Link's Awakening, Super Mario Odyssey. They already updated Clubhouse games for Game Share stuff, so that's really cool. Added more games so you can play with more people instead of just being locked to what we had before. So that's good. Um, I I don't think they'll do it, but it'd be really cool if they would go back and also just do like slight improvements to like Pokemon Legends Arceus or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, since those did so well on the previous system. But they're already moving on to new games, so I know that's not going to happen. I'm not going to get my hopes up. Uh, but it would be cool if like there was like some type of upgrade for those, like visually speaking. Um, Nothing else I can really think of though. I'm sure anything I want's probably just going to come with time. We got like 7 or 8 years ahead of us with this system, so just going to be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah, I mean, they're already trying like some interesting stuff cuz they have like the new Splatoon Raiders game
Yep.
that's going to be like quite a bit different from our standard Splatoon fare. So I am sure they will come up with interesting things for us to like have content wise. I'm just so excited to be able to save so much money now going forward and playing more of my backlog. So there's that.
Thanks, Game Key Cards.
Thanks.
We talked more than enough about the Game Key Cards in a previous episode, and that is something we are not going to touch today. All right, so that is everything for our Switch 2 impressions. Really quickly, like just really quickly, don't spend too much time on it. What have we been up to, Jack?
Lennon's shaking his head no.
I'm
Should we
doing
end it?
I'm doing it whether or not he wants to because I said I'm
I'm
going to do it.
literally leaving the podcast now.
Wow.
So you can go ahead and do it. I'm stopping my audio.
Okay.
Like, I'm not joking. I have 2 children that have been screaming, so
All right, I guess roll the outro. Bye.
Bye.